shore of New London, one might spot a small structure standing on a cement platform out to sea. Its high red walls, tall windows, and of course, the glass beacon resting atop it make the ledge lighthouse a queer and picturesque sight. To see it, one could appreciate its quaint New England charm, but anyone familiar with its charm will also know of New England's reputation for dark history. And the ledge lighthouse is no exception. No one can say exactly how long ago this was, for the story differs from one telling of it to another. But all who know the story can agree on these things. There was a young couple, newlyweds, who were in search of a house of their own. Then, word reached the man that the town was searching for someone to tend this secluded lighthouse off of New London Harbor. There was no way to or from the lighthouse except by the ferry that passed by once a day. The house, gorgeous and extravagant, was far more elegant than the man could have afforded, but because he would be tending to the lighthouse every day, the price of the home was incredibly affordable. Fond of the idea of owning their own little private secluded island together, the newlyweds moved to the ledge lighthouse. As they had expected, interaction with other people was so seldom that the woman actually became quite lonely. Though her husband was there, he was often occupied with tending to the light tower, which needed constant attention lest the light should go out and a ship should crash into them. So, the young bride found her days quite empty, and she longed for the company of others. But she had one small consolation. Every day, at exactly 11 o'clock in the morning, the ferry boat would pass by on its way into port, and day after day, the woman would climb up to the balcony of the lighthouse, and she would call and wave to the passing ship, and the passengers would call back to her, waving and jumping to catch her attention. And among them, on the upper level of the ship, the door to the cabin's bridge would open, and the distinguished captain would nod his head and offer a friendly salute. This was her favorite part of the day, for she had little else to look forward to besides her occasional trips into port for food and supplies. So one day, she told her husband that she would be signaling the ferry to pick her up so she could go to town for some groceries. And just as it always did, promptly at 11 o'clock, the ferry passed by, and the woman signaled the captain. The boat stopped just a small ways from the cement foundation, and the husband rowed his wife out to the ship in their little rowboat. With a kiss goodbye, she promised that she would be back before dark, and then she climbed aboard the ship. The day drifted by, and the woman did not return. After nightfall, the man was worried sick, but figured that something had happened and his wife had missed the ferry, determining that she would be on the ship the next day. So, when the morning came and the ferry passed promptly at 11, the man signaled to the ship to stop, and he rowed out to it expecting his wife to meet him. But the man that stepped out from the captain's bridge was not the man he had seen from the light tower. The confused husband called up to the boy and asked him about the captain, and inquired if his wife was aboard. But the boy answered that the captain had retired the day before, and there was not a single woman aboard the ship. The husband knew what this meant. His wife had left him, run away with the captain of the ferry. Distraught, the man rowed back to his home, and with a heavy heart, he climbed the ladder up into the tower of the lighthouse, and out onto the balcony he walked, staring distantly out at the smooth and silent sea as he drew a breath and leaned and tumbled over the banister. From the top of the high tower, he struck the ledge of the cement foundation before his broken body plunged into the sea. With a history such as this, it is not so strange to believe that the ledge lighthouse is haunted. There are some who say that, a little after 11 o'clock each day, you can see the body of the husband plummet from the light tower. But each night, despite the awful fate of the young man, the light in the tower continues to shine, warning the passing ships in the night of the nearby port. Is it the ghost of the young man, returned to wait for his true love in hopes that she will come back to him? Or is it the bride who tends to the lighthouse, so overwhelmed by guilt that she returns to the place which once had been a prison to her. Regardless of which you believe, the light continues to glow, and the house stands ever in tribute to the tragedy and scandal which happened within the walls of the Lighthouse of New London.